My mom was a very gifted piano player. My father was in the chain store business. I went to high school up in York, Pennsylvania, and my pop comes home one day and says, "We're moving to Miami." And it was like a utopia. So I went to Gables High in the band program.
And he was immediately popular. We hung out at the Big Wheel Drive-In.
Got a scholarship to the University of Miami and got all my college paid for. They had a thing at the university called The Clubman by Fred Ash, a full jazz band, music of the 50s. Just everything was music.
Mel was a wild and crazy guy until he met Carol, and that calmed him down a bit.
We met over a gumball machine. We started dating, and I went into service. When I got out of the service, we got married, and then I got my first job at Cutleridge Junior High. They gave me a classroom right in the middle of the building. Well, I made no friends at all. Kids in the school, I think, only joined just to find out what was going on with all that noise. But I did. I was very lucky that kids joined the program. At that time, I must have had a good 60% of the school in band. Had almost 400 kids. I had heard by a grapevine that Southwest was going to open. When I went into Southwest, I didn't know how to do it quite right. You know, I'd form a football in the field that looked like really an egg. That summer, a gentleman by the name of Bill Moffett came out with all kind of method books on how to design shows. That type of marching really took off and went well. Everybody enjoyed it. As the program started to be accepted by the students themselves, then it just started to grow. And we had enough numbers of the band that we could stretch from goal line to goal line and do all kind of spiraling around. It was just amazing to be able to have a band the whole length of the field stay together and play and march.
What I remember most about Southwest is I was a pretty big guy, and I could have played football, but I just heard that the football team stunk and the band rocked.
It was a show. It was a spectacle. And I think we were the largest, definitely in Dade County, if not one of the largest in the state.
I mean, people, I remember, used to go and get snacks and food when the football team was playing, and then when the band played halftime, everybody made sure to be in their seats.
It was a magical time in Dade County. It was those bands. I mean, oh my Lord.
They would be very disciplined and organized and classy, and the band, you know, and it was just a big deal.
We felt so much pride when our lines were straight and when our pinwheels went well.
Being in the band was cool, and being in that particular band was really cool. The Southwest Band had the reputation.
The transition from junior high into high school was definitely a scary transition.
I just remember going to the band camp there and just 100 degrees outside and boiling from like 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon for 2 weeks straight.
A lot of sweat. Couldn't figure out why my knees had to go so high.
I do remember thinking that I'm never going to get this stuff.
Well, he worked us. And you know, if your knees weren't high enough, you had to go back and do it again. And I was a little chunky. And by the end of the first marching season, I was skinny.
I tried to run what I called a tight ship. All over school, they were getting longer and longer hair until the point it was resting on their shoulders. And it really was not becoming of our uniform style. So I told the guys they're going to have to start cutting their hair.
And a senior came up to me. He goes, "Just take this, he'll never know. It's a hairnet." I go, "A hair what?"
And I didn't know whether to get mad because they're pulling the woolly over me, or to praise them with the fact, now that's ingenuity.
No scuff marks on your shoes.
Your white pants better be white.
20, 30 minutes straight at attention.
So I've got baggies on my shoes. I've got my hair up in a hairnet. I'm afraid any second somebody's going to walk up and whip out a pair of pantyhose.
Marching band to me was fun, but the real enjoyment came after football season. He just had the right stuff when he would walk up to the podium and stand and hold that baton and ready to go. You were focused and you had that eye contact.
He expected our 100% attention and he got it.
To have a family and then being a band director, which is a 24/7 job. I don't see how he could actually put the kind of product that he put year after year for so many years.
He was in the field of music, not to criticize, but to create.
He never belittled us at all. He treated us with respect.
He had this ability to help us find ourselves, you know, and it was very empowering, that kind of thing. And it just, you couldn't wait to go to the band room.
He just oozed a love of music.
To have Mr. Baker's approval was the best feeling in the world. He taught us commitment. He taught us dedication. He taught us camaraderie, working hard to get to a goal.
I don't think I would be where I am today if I didn't have that discipline and attention to detail.
Knowing that you're not always going to get what you want, but you got to work hard for it.
I became what I am today because of that early idea of what a band director is.